It began with a feeling, not a sound, not a sight, just that quiet, crawling sense of being watched. It followed me through my days like a second shadow. At first, I told myself it was nothing. Everyone feels paranoid sometimes, right? But soon it grew harder to dismiss. Every time I walked home after dark, I could feel it. A prickle at the back of my neck, the way my skin seemed to tighten, as though bracing for a touch that never came. I'd glance over my shoulder, half expecting to catch someone stepping out of sight. Nothing. Just the still, empty street stretching behind me. Yet the feeling never left. It was worst in reflections. In shop windows, the bus shelter glass, puddles after rain. I'd think I saw movement where there shouldn't have been any. A flicker, a shift, like the air itself was trying to rearrange into a shape I wasn't meant to see. Once, while standing at a crosswalk, I caught my reflection in a storefront mirror. For a split second, there were two of me, one turning to look and another still staring forward. I blinked, and the image corrected itself. I told myself it was just tiredness, or the play of light. I wanted to believe that, but believing got harder each night. I started recording myself as I walked home. Just a small thing. My phone camera turned on, facing behind me, the screen tucked safely into my pocket. I didn't even look at the footage at first. It was just for reassurance. A way to prove that I was being irrational. The third night, though, curiosity got the better of me. I watched the video, the street rolling by in dim streetlight, my own faint silhouette moving ahead. Nothing unusual, nothing at all, until the very end. In the final second before the video cut off, a figure appeared, blurred but unmistakable, standing inches behind me. I couldn't make out details, only that they were tall and smiling directly into the camera. My stomach turned cold. I rewound, paused, zoomed in, hoping it was some trick of the lens, a stranger passing by, a distortion caused by movement. But no, frame by frame, I could see it clearly. The figure wasn't there in the moment before, and it wasn't walking toward me. It simply was. One frame empty, the next, them. I never felt anyone there. That night, I locked every door, drew the curtains, and told myself it was a glitch. I even convinced myself to laugh about it, posting the video online with a joking caption about my stalker ghost. My friends commented, calling it creepy but fake. For a few hours, their disbelief was comforting. It made it feel less real. But as the house settled into silence, that feeling returned, the same weight at my back. I tried to ignore it, focusing on the sound of my breathing, the ticking of the wall clock. Then I heard it, a whisper, soft, so soft it might have been air moving through cracks in the walls. But it wasn't random. There were words buried in the sound. My name, drawn out, breathed like a secret. Maqbool. I froze. The whisper came again, closer now, threading through the dark. I spun around, heart hammering, but the room was empty. Empty. Except for the glow on my desk. My phone screen had lit up by itself. It was showing a live feed. Me, sitting on my bed, turning around to look behind me. But I wasn't holding the phone. My hands were on my lap. In the feed, the camera angle was different, lower, as though it were being filmed from the floor. And there, just behind the me on the screen, stood that same figure, smiling. I dropped the phone. It clattered onto the floor, the screen cracking. The image flickered, but didn't fade. I could still see myself on the display, still frozen, staring at the camera. Slowly, my on-screen reflection began to move again, though I hadn't. It tilted its head, the way someone does when studying a stranger. Then, almost playfully, it raised its hand and pointed directly toward me. The whisper returned, louder this time, wrapping itself around the sound of static coming from the phone speaker. "Behind you!" The words crawled through me. I couldn't breathe. Every instinct screamed not to turn around, not to look, but the fear was unbearable. A living thing pressing against my back. My muscles trembled as I turned, inch by inch. There was nothing there. At least, that's what I told myself in the moment, because admitting what I really saw, or thought I saw, would mean accepting that something had followed me home. The shadows in the corner seemed deeper, thicker than before. I unplugged my phone and shoved it under a pile of clothes, trying to drown out the faint static hum, still seeping from it. I didn't sleep that night. Every sound felt amplified. The creak of the floorboards, the sigh of the wind. At some point, exhaustion took me, but my dreams were no escape. I dreamt of walking endlessly down that same street, the same rhythmic click of my shoes, echoing against the pavement, except this time, every reflection was delayed. My mirrored self lagged behind by just a second, its movements slow, deliberate. Then, in one reflection, it didn't follow at all. It stood still while I walked on, its eyes following me instead. When I woke, it was dawn. My phone was on the nightstand, screen glowing with another live feed. My bedroom again, but not quite right. The angles warped, the colors dimmer, like I was looking at a version of my room that had been copied and corrupted. On the bed in the image was me, still sleeping, but something was crouched beside the bed. A shape, hunched, its face near mine, smiling. The feed flickered, and for a moment I saw it lift its head and turn toward the camera, as though it knew I was watching. Then the screen went black. I haven't used that phone since. I left it in a drawer, taped shut, but sometimes at night I can hear the faint buzz of its vibration. Once, when I couldn't stand it anymore, I took it out and smashed it with a hammer. The pieces still lit up faintly, each shard flashing a single image before dying. My own reflection, multiplied in broken glass. People tell me it's stress, that I've been overworking, that my brain is fabricating things, but they don't see what I see. Every reflection now feels wrong. Sometimes I turn away from mirrors completely, but even then, I feel the weight of eyes that aren't mine. And sometimes, late at night, when the world is quiet, I hear the faintest whisper. Just one word. Behind you.